Let's get into it here. The Yankees erase a 5-run deficit and extend their home run streak. And how about those Phillies, Teddy? Last 3 games, overcoming not 2 runs, not 3 runs, but 4 runs in their past 3 victories. But let's get to the hot topic of the day. And it isn't the weather, Teddy. It's the Yankee bats. 29 straight games now with a home run. The warm weather in the Bronx. A lot of run scoring, a lot of comebacks here. And I know a lot of people yesterday, Teddy, going, ha, if you bet those New York Yankees at that big number. Not so fast. That lineup is a 3-run home run away from getting right back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a home run in 29 straight games, that's the modern MLB. Is you got to be able to go deep, you got to be able to hit yard, and the Yankees obviously have been doing that exceptionally well over the course of the season and certainly over the course of the last month. But from a betting standpoint, it's really hard for me to get involved with the Yankees right now. The markets are not mispricing this team. They're not sleeping on the Bronx Bombers, not anymore, not since they've gotten healthy. And even with them still a little bit banged up and Stanton going back on the DL, Yankees are a scary baseball team. And as a bettor, it gives you a difficult conundrum every day because, the elite teams, the Yankees, the Astros, the Dodgers, yes, they are that good, but they're being priced like they're that good every single night.
No, you're absolutely right. The next game we're going to talk about right here, a plus 330 ticket comes in. It's interesting because when you look at the pitching matchups, we talked about it yesterday, Teddy, when you have like those aces on the mound, you go, I don't want to fade that ace. He could have a great outing at any time. Chris Sale gets roughed up right off the bat. The White Sox look like they were going to be an easy winner, but yet all the way through the game, those hot bats in the Red Sox come back. There is no time limit in Major League Baseball, but a 2-run blast in the 9th inning by Jose Abreu sets that ticket in, plus 330, Teddy. That's what baseball's about.
Yeah, when you're cashing plus 330s, you had a good day. Obviously, when I talked about the 3 elite teams a moment ago, the Dodgers, the Astros, the Yankees, I did not include the defending World Series champs amongst those 3 elites because they're not. Why are they not? The bullpen. Flat out. Boston's, but what I had them over the weekend. They had a 6-0 lead. Well, they lost that game. And again, yesterday with opportunities. And no, Sale didn't pitch his best. But Boston's supposed to win that game. But they didn't because once again, the bullpen comes up short. And the White Sox, they've been making a lot of money for their backers. You've been betting on Chicago at nice plus prices. You're probably enjoying the month of June a whole lot.
Hey, Teddy, quick question for you, because Major League Baseball, obviously it's the middle of the summer, but some interesting circumstances usually pop their head up. We saw the pictures today of the, $500,000 flight that the Boston Red Sox are taking across seas to play a baseball game a baseball series versus the Red Sox and the Yankees. When we take a look at fields that, Major League Baseball is not used to playing in this environment, it's a new type of place. We know these teams bomb away. Does that take a little bit out of your mind and say, let me take a step back and at least maybe watch a game here before we actually bet into this number? Or is it just say, baseball as usual here?
Oh, no. You want to know the wind conditions. You want to know the field conditions. I remember when they were playing down in Puerto Rico, and it was a big deal as to, all right, well, this is what the totals were in the States. But what was that? At Walker Stadium, here in Walker Stadium, I believe it was. Where all of a sudden, your totals better be about 2 runs higher than they were. Even the same pitchers and the same lineups in this country. So I have no idea. I've not done any research yet on the stadium. I don't know how it plays. I will be paying attention to those sort of factors over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. But in general, you better know that ballpark before you get involved with the total. It's not about the lineups and the pitchers alone. The ballpark dimensions and how the ball carries. We talked about Arizona with the roof open versus with the roof closed and the difference that makes in Arizona. I expect those conditions will make a difference in London, both on the posted total and whether that total ends up going over or under.
Yeah, we'll have some fun with that tomorrow and take a look at it a little bit closer, maybe get some of the dimensions up there. Because once the Major League Baseball gets over there, they're going to start that huge, PR storm, and you'll get some nice pictures, which are already coming out last week. It looks like a really neat environment, but then again, some of these players might not be used to be playing there. How about this one, Teddy? It's no surprise here, right, with the New York Mets, right? Vargas, Cy Young Vargas, as I like to call him right now, dominated the Philadelphia Phillies yesterday. 10 strikeouts. He gets removed from the game with the lead. And in comes that New York Mets bullpen, which implodes, which leads to Jay Bruce, of all people, leading and having a walk-off hit, or actually a walk-off double in extra innings to take the 5-4 wins. The Phillies needed those 3 wins, but that's typical Mets faction, Teddy. 3 straight games, 2-run lead, 3-run lead, 4-run lead. Today they play again. Maybe they blow a 5-run lead here, Teddy.
Yeah, maybe they will. Let's give Vargas some credit. All right. The advanced metrics haven't been good. The markets have been against him. He was dealing with some significant distractions, and he came out and pitched a gem. Of course, behind him, then Lugo came in and got bombed, and lo and behold, here come the Phillies. But Vargas pitched well yesterday, and that's something to note moving forward. Worth also noting a Phillies bullpen. And we talked about all the bad bullpens in the NL East and how bad the Nats bullpen has been and how bad the Braves bullpen has been and how bad the Phillies, right now the Mets bullpen is the worst of the bunch. But the Phillies bullpen last night, notably better. Atlanta's bullpen's been better of late. Washington's bullpen's been better of late. But the Philadelphia Phillies, 4 1/3 scoreless innings of work last night from the pen, allowing just 1 hit during that span.
Phillies go for that 4-game sweep this afternoon. By the time the show comes out today, Teddy, probably will have a final, and hopefully those Phillies have got them 4 in a row. Yes, you can call me a homer. Yes, I am a Philadelphia Phillies fan. But you know what time it is now, Teddy? Even though it's June, as we like to say, we're a week away from July, and then August turns there. College football is right on the horizon. The top 20 college football team preview for that betting show today, those Nebraska Cornhuskers. How about this? Yesterday we previewed another Big Ten team that was 150 to 1. Let's take it down a little bit here. 50 to 1 Nebraska to win the 2019 college championship. The Cornhuskers team total in the season, 8.5, finishing 4-8 last year. 3-6 in Big Ten play. First year for Scott Frost. He's going to get another year out there. He has an electric, talented quarterback that can both throw and run, but the key is to keeping that young kid healthy there. So we'll see how that protrudes. But also, I always like to take a look at team totals and how they're going to fare by the schedule that sets up. You want to get, after a losing season, some good mojo back in your book, Teddy. Looks like they can start that, opening with South Alabama, Colorado, Northern Illinois, and Illinois before taking on Ohio State at home. They have to improve that defense, though, Teddy. Remember back in the day, in the 90s, early 2000s, the black shirt defense, how well they played? 88th in the country last year nationally and 12th in the Big Ten. That must improve, Teddy, to have a pretty good season here.
Yeah, I mean, look, when we talk about Nebraska last year, Scott Frost's first year on the job, they finished 4-8, okay? And now here they are ranked in the top 20. We've done 3 straight Big Ten teams, and Wisconsin, Iowa, and Nebraska, all top 20 teams, and we haven't even gotten to the Ohio States or Michigans of the world yet. 4-8 last year, but it started 0-6 and finished 4-2. One of the losses, 36-31 at Ohio State. You can't blame them for a defeat like that. They beat Sparty down the stretch. And, of course, you have Adrian Martinez, a guy who's getting Heisman hype now in his sophomore year. Scott Frost, quote, "I hope he's thought of the greatest ever to play at Nebraska at that position." Defensive lineman Darian Daniels talking about what other Big 12 quarterback he's faced was most like Martinez in the run-pass threat. The name he dropped, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so you want to talk about big expectations. There's huge expectations for this kid. And admittedly, okay, he's got talent. But when you talk about realistic expectations for a team that went 4-8 last year, remember, Scott Frost, UCF, the year before he got there, they were 0-12. His first year on the job, they went 6-7. His second year on the job, they went 13-0. The Nebraska fan base is expecting that type of a transition from winless to undefeated, from winless to undefeated in 2 years. That's not going to happen in the Big Ten. All right. Offensive line. They got their tackles are set. 3 big graduation losses, lose 74 starts off that offensive line. I've got concerns about Martinez being able to stay healthy behind them. Defensively, you talked about it. I mean, again, we expect this team to score. Defensively, they weren't particularly good last year. They finished the 3rd most yards in the Big Ten. They gave up more than 31 points per game. They have the base 3-4 defense. They're saying, oh, well, we know it now. Frost, once you figure it out, you can just play faster. You let everything go and just attack the ball. Defensive line has some experience. The secondary is a little bit dicey, and that's my biggest concern for Nebraska. They have a couple of experienced cornerbacks, but that's about it. I don't see the depth in the secondary or the experience in the secondary, and that's a big concern for me. Nebraska, of course, didn't bowl last year, going 4-8 for the 2nd straight year. Scott Frost, quote, "I'm not used to having Christmas off. It was nice to be with family. I don't want it to ever happen again." Nebraska's a bowl team, for sure. I would, for sure. One would think Nebraska's a bowl team this year. 7, 8, 9 wins. Top 20? I think the cart's maybe a little bit ahead of the horse for the Huskers right now. A team that has the potential to offer some point spread value, but the markets are not sleeping on Nebraska. If they end up being good, this team's going to get overpriced in a hurry. Scott Frost has a big, big betting bandwagon behind him.